was an English lit major. I love reading books all the time. They've changed my life, you know, in the way I think.
Books are a little universe in itself. It's such a simple thing, right? It has a cover and a back. It's got some pictures, maybe some artwork. I love the turning of the pages. Every part of the book has to be treasured, but it's a huge collaboration.
After spending about 15 years in Japan as a journalist, I worked for the Nikkei Shimbun, and Yuko worked for a wire service, Knight Ridder Financial News. So we were in Tokyo through the 90s.
I thought it was a natural progression of where our careers were as reporters, and we were transitioning out of that. We had just started a family, and when Bruce expressed an interest in all the, I guess, stories that had been written about contemporary Japan, I thought it was a great idea.
We had a hunch that actually if you made the book right, it would have staying power, and I think that's proven to be true.
You know, let's get rid of the step.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's just...
We first started it with a designer and who was working in Tokyo, an American guy, Craig Maud, and he was very influential in helping us get the aesthetics of our press.
First book, Kuhaku, that was really the book that got us into the publishing business.
That book was really well made. The cover was nice, it had texture on it, just this canvas-like feel, and it had this nice embossing. The design of the pages and the layout were great.
Bringing back that old tradition of creating material that is a pleasure to read, but also a joy to touch.
So my brother's a professor of literature, and after August 29th, 2005, he went to Houston and realized he was going to be in exile for a while, so he came here. And over the first few days when he was in mourning over his city, we got the idea to put together a book called Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans? And we reached out to everyone he knew, and we created a book in the narrative shape of a jazz funeral. And it changed for me what this company was about, and connected us with a part of the country where we've done you know, many books with writers down there. And it sort of opened us up to exploring what was around us. It opened us up to doing books about Seattle.
We're sitting on this gold mine. There's so much going on in Seattle, and if we don't turn our awareness towards those stories, I feel like we're missing out big time.
I guess the first one we did that was local was Shiro, because he had this amazing treasure trove of photographs. So we turned it into kind of a visual memoir.
And also there's a cookbook element to it too.
That whole story became such a great history of Seattle through sushi. You know, it's easier for me to get behind something that's got a great non-fiction tale about Seattle.
New people come in, how are they supposed to know what they're stepping into? And how are people across the country supposed to know, like, how these cities that are changing and that have had such messy patterns of growth, how do we tell the stories about how people live together?
We never anticipated this much interest in the book, but the story is about the civil rights movement in the Seattle area during the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even until today.
So, you know, the Gang of Four, their legacy was a great one to tell. And Dean's sort of man in the street interviews and photos, those were the natural ones for us.
You want somebody who loves your work to do your book. The major publishers that I talked to, they didn't really have that interest. They want you to prove yourself to them and why you're important, you know? Whereas Chin Music saw the importance.
We try to make each book a project. And so Ken's book, for example, he's an up-and-coming artist, especially when we started working on the book. It just seemed right.
Having a book really helped kickstart my career. It brought me to a lot more different people that wouldn't have seen my work. It widened my audience. I started getting fans from all over the world after that.
I always felt that this company should be like a place to propel voices or artists, kind of like with chin music being a baseball phrase, almost like a AAA team, helping that new artist get that launch onto a bigger platform.
I find it apt that Chin Music Press is located on the 3rd floor of the Pike Place Market. You have to find it. When you find it though, that floor is amazing because it's where all the stuff that's hidden is.
It was always in the back of my mind, a physical space.
I would like the look of the store to represent what our press is, and I wanted also to showcase a lot of our colorful works from our artists.
The designers and illustrators and photographers we work with, and kind of a celebration of the whole process.
It's really collaborative, it's really kind of decentralized. You have a voice here. I think whether you're a member of the staff or whether you're an author.
And certainly with Ken, or even with sushi chef Shiro Kashiba or other people, it just felt like they deserve this book to tell their story more completely. A book is such a wonderful way to tell a story, and it's hard to beat it.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle Channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattlechannel.org.